Now, you
So
mentioned in the article a lot of NAPARC churches and have moved to try to enact something of a shepherding groups. We have those in my OP congregation here in Illinois. It's fairly common to do that. So it's along the same lines of a proportioned ministry. But I'm curious to if you can help us understand this, especially in the present context, not necessarily amid the COVID pandemic, although that's involved as well, but also just in the changes to a post-industrial and a service economy with high mobility. I mean, a lot of people have very shallow roots, if any roots, and their people are rather transient. It's difficult enough when you know where people are, and you can go find them. But people are moving around so much. It's rather difficult, in one sense, not only to proportion the work, but even to get a handle on the people in the first place.
again, Chalmers, but we could multiply this. He's certainly not the only one to say this. Um, he was big on the idea of knowing the people,
Mm-hmm.
believing that your preaching on the Lord's Day um, would only be as effective as your knowledge of the people. And his point was twofold: you knowing them, but them knowing you. So if they have an ear to hear because they've heard you in a different context. It's marvelous. We try our best to visit in homes. That's been quite limited over the past few months. So what we've been doing during this time is, okay, we can't be there. Let's we have care groups who are doing weekly Zoom meetings, care group, where they all, as many of them as can, get on a Zoom call. And so you've got, the Brady Bunch, you know, like we are right
Like we're
now.
doing right now, right?
And so they just talk. They see if anybody's got any needs. They talk. They just talk about the kids, talk about how frustrating things are at school or doing school. Um, Chalmers also said gargantuanism and the care of the soul are incompatible. Uh, you know, his idea of ministry, even though hundreds after years of his preaching, hundreds would flock to hear him on Sunday in the parish church. It all began, and the reason they flocked to hear him because he and his elders and his deacons met them in the public square and met them in their homes, and they felt like they knew their pastor. And so, what we've been doing is we've been calling people regularly. We've been texting. We've been zooming. We're trying to do as many different small things as we can, and we've maybe not been as ambitious with that as we could have and should have, but just not losing touch
Yeah.
where we all really know one another. That's key.